Welcome back to episode 2 of the Real Serious Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Hunter with your co-host Chuck, and congratulations to all of those that are in playoff weekend, like my humble Detroit Lions. Charles, how'd your team do this year?
Why did you have to bring this? Is literally a movie podcast. Why did you have to open with that?
It's current events. It's current events, and I think it's important to talk about. So,
for those that don't know, I'm a Colts fan, and I was forced to go through a heartbreaking wrench of a loss last week, so I'm still getting over that. And I don't even know if I want to watch football anymore because I'm so sad.
Yeah, I don't know what's honestly worse, how the Colts season ended or how bad Joe Coy bombed at the Golden Globes. I would probably argue...
Probably Joe Coy, honestly.
Probably Joe Coy. That was tough. So let's start with that. The Golden Globes happened, and it was probably the most predictable year for wins ever, I think. Everyone who was expected to win won, and I think that it's probably locked in for the rest of the year as well. But that's not the real story, is it, Charles?
It's really locked in for the rest of the year.
For the Oscars.
Oh, I see.
For the Emmys.
So what is supposedly... I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about Joe Coy.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Obviously, we're going to talk about that.
We're going to get there.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah.
But what is like the main difference between the Golden Globes and the Oscars?
So the Golden Globes are more of the hangout fun show. And the Golden Globes also have TV, where the Oscars is more prestigious, only film. The Emmys are more so the Oscars for TV.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a few other ones like the People's Choice Awards, the BAFTAs, the SAG Awards. The BAFTAs is more of an indicator. So for those of you who gamble, like I do, on the Oscars, the BAFTAs is more so where you want to look in the Golden Globes versus the Golden Globes. So this is a good indication, but not great for who's going to win. But honestly, it felt like everyone who was supposed to win won. And I think that's going to be the same way it is throughout the rest of awards season.
Okay. There's one kind of dispute online that I saw. Obviously, obviously Cillian Murphy was the a shoe-in.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah. People say that Bradley Cooper should have been in the conversation. Well, he was in the conversation. He was the nominee. But people think that he...
Here's my thought on Bradley Cooper. I think Mastro is great. I think it was just great, though. Like, it didn't go past that. And I think that Bradley Cooper doing this whole campaign to be like, it's my Oscar time, look how hard I worked, look how much I did, is a little embarrassing. And, like, I know what he's doing, and people have done it before, but I think that it's not the role that he should be doing it for. And I think it makes him look worse, because I think that he regrets not doing this level of press for A Star Is Born, which I think was the one that he actually should have won. Or this role, I think he got beat by someone dumb who just did more. Let's see, I'll look that up. But I think that was the one that he missed out on, and I think that was pretty clear of where he missed out, and so I think he's trying to get that done. But no, I think it's pretty clearly it's Cillian's year.
Okay.
Which is quite awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with it. I mean, I didn't see... It's Maestro? That's how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I think it's Maestro or Mastro.
Maestro. I didn't see it. Honestly, I didn't really know much about it until the Golden Globes, and then I saw it online. I consume a lot of information from Facebook, and I saw a lot of people on Facebook comments saying, like, oh, Bradley Cooper was robbed, he was snubbed.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know much about it.
So Bradley Cooper lost to Rami Malek for Freddie Mercury and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh.
Which I hate that movie. I think that movie sucks.
Why?
I think it's edited like super poorly. I think it's like a really bad version of a biopic. And what's also crazy is like I think his performance is good, but everyone else who's in here is better. And also, the better performance in a musical biopic was the year afterwards and didn't get like any recognition in Rocketman. Which was goated. So.
Did you see Elvis?
I did see Elvis.
Was Bohemian Rhapsody similar to
Bohemian
Elvis?
Rhapsody is way worse.
Way worse?
Yes.
I told you about the TikToker I saw whose basically going through every movie that he walked out on, and he put Elvis in there. It was like a
That's
bunch
crazy.
of really bad movies,
Yeah.
like Sausage Party, and I don't think 65 was on there. But then it was just Elvis.
Like, I get if you don't like Elvis, but like, it's not that level. Like, it's not that bad. Okay, Joe Coy. That was tough.
That was horrible.
Like,
That
they
sucked.
always have bad hosts, and that's not to say like the people that are doing it is bad. Like, I don't think Joe Coy's a bad comedian, but it's such a hard thing because like you want to make the jokes, but also like if you step on the wrong toes, it's like a big deal, or like if you say the wrong thing, it's like a really big deal. The Barbie joke was bad.
So bad.
Real bad.
So bad.
I don't know why he didn't turn it into he says that joke, and then someone else comes out on stage and is like, did you not see the movie? Did you not learn about it? And then that could have been like a skit where he like goes off stage and they like cut to something else. It's him watching the movie, understanding the moral of the story, which was like the difficulties women have in the entertainment industry and in the world.
Yeah.
And he comes back on stage and is like, I get it now. That would have been a good joke versus boobies. Like,
Even, I just feel like saying the word boobies.
it's so bad.
It's bad.
It's so
just-
bad. Like,
yeah, I honestly cringed and kind of like tried to stop listening when I
Yes.
saw that because I just couldn't watch it. He tried to defend himself. He's like, "Oh, I only got 10 days to prepare for this. All the
yeah.
jokes that you're laughing at, those are mine."
And then when he threw the
Dude.
writers under the bus was real bad. Like,
The what?
Yeah, so like in the middle of it, he was like, I only got 10 days, and he's like, oh, don't blame me, blame the writers. It's like, dude, we just got over a huge writer's strike for the past like 5 months where no one can get anything done. Like what are we doing? I don't know. I'm of the opinion that there should either be no host, and it should just be people come out, say a little stupid bit, and then present an award, or just if you're going to be the host, most of the jokes should be against yourself. Like, make the jokes against yourself, or make yourself seem like the butt of the joke. Or if you're going to call someone out and make them the joke, make it in a way where it's a positive spin, or it's like a very clear like tongue-in-cheek moment versus just kind of being an ass about it,
Yeah.
which I think he was. I like the Taylor joke.
Yeah, I was about to ask what I forget what the Taylor joke was.
The Taylor joke was basically, oh, if everyone just came from watching NFL games, we're going to have less shots of Taylor compared to them. Like, that's not a bad joke. I just think the delivery was poor. And I think that, like that, I understand what the joke was. It was more about the NFL than Taylor herself.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it wasn't a good delivery of what the joke was.
Which is weird because he's a comedian.
Yeah, and
so
I
he
think
should know how to deliver.
No,
a joke
agreed. And I think it's
properly.
bull. Like, if he really only did get 10 days, that sucks. Like that, to prepare for an event like that, like you should have at least a month in advance. But, I mean, I've told you my opinion on how they should just do award shows. All the award shows should be hosted by the Muppets, and that would make everything better.
Okay, well, that's just all right. Yeah, but if he only got, we're just gonna move past that Muppet comment.
I just think it would be great.
I disagree, but
Hater.
well, how would someone just be up there with the Muppet?
You just build a little thing, and then Kermit and them come out, present. Then you have the two guys up in the two old guys. They're like off to the side, and then they make jokes about the hosts or like the people who won the awards. It'd be great.
Okay. If you only got 10 days, I feel like that's like it's fraudulent almost.
Yeah.
For the Golden Globes, like if this is such a legit event that they host, and they only give 10 days to the host,
I know.
to the main
Well, that's
guy.
the thing. No one wants to host these things because you can't win. Even if you do a good job, like someone's always gonna nitpick. Someone's always gonna find something negative. Like if he never told the Barbie joke, let's just say he didn't do that. The rest of his stuff was objectively not great, but it's not like it's like awful.
Yeah.
But
Well,
he's still gonna get flamed.
I suppose it's press. They say all press is good press. this is not good press. I disagree with that.
No, yeah, this is a case where it's
saying
not.
right now.
Yeah.
But that's probably why people take it. Like, I had never heard of Joe Coy before this award show on TikTok. If you look at comments, everyone's like, "Who is Joe Coy?" And like, why is he automatically canceled now? No one's heard of him, and all of a sudden he's just like his career's done.
Yeah. No.
So that's probably what
tough.
he was going for. But like, either he was lying, which could very much be the case, or the Golden Globes. This was kind of just a mess up.
Yeah.
They only gave him 10 days because that's just bull.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times they just pick now, especially the Oscars. They just pick the safe choice. Like Jimmy Kimmel has done the Oscars like 5 times now in the last like 6 years. He hasn't been good like once, but he's a safe choice. He's friends with all these people. He's in the inner circles. And so when he makes the jokes about them, it's a little different than like Joe Coy, who's kind of an outsider, like making jokes about people. But I don't know. Yeah. I think they just get away with hosts and just be like, hey, here's 2 famous people. Let them do a little bit with each other and then move on.
I like that more than a host just making jokes about themselves.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're at the Golden Globes, if you're watching the Golden Globes, you're not watching for the host. And I feel like that just takes away from the actual event. So I like the...
Well, there's a good clip that went around after Joe Coy kind of bombed, and it was of John Mulaney, and he was hosting a different award show that's like a smaller one. And his joke that like went over really well was basically he was like, his whole thing was like, he's a big name in Hollywood. And then he kind of kept saying that and saying that and saying that. And then finally at the end, he was like, I talk about how I'm a big name in Hollywood. And he's like, I want to read you a real like email from my agent. And it was basically this agent like sent him an email about like a casting opportunity. And he was like, I was going to be policeman number 1. And he's like, after all I've done, I'm still just policeman number 1.
Oh.
And so he was making fun of himself in the end. And I think that like that's kind of the way you want to handle it.
Okay, but watching a movie and seeing John Mulaney as this random policeman would be pretty
awesome.
Pretty flame.
Yeah. Okay, anything else for Golden Globes talk? Okay. So there's a lot of news we can get into. Do you want to start with the Mando movie and Ahsoka Season 2? Or FNAF 2?
Let's start with Star Wars.
All right, let's start with Star Wars. You and I have a very different relationship with Star Wars, which I'm sure we'll get into when we do our Star Wars ranking eventually. But do either of these 2 things excite you? Because I have an opinion on them.
Ahsoka Season 2 excites me a lot.
Yes.
Season 1 was awesome. All gas, no brakes. We got to see a ton of great characters from Rebels. So I'm pretty excited for that. Made a movie... Why?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Ahsoka Season 2 is way more exciting. Just from the way it ended, too. It's like a lot of questions of where that's going to go and how it's all going to tie in. Mando movie is tough. Because like, if you would have told me this like 2 years ago, I would have been so excited. Like, Mando Season 1 and 2 were so special. But then it started to get more into like the other Star Wars. It started to bring in all these other people, and it's like... That's what was so special about Mando, is it wasn't all that. It wasn't connected.
Yeah.
And now it's so intertwined with all this stuff. Like, I don't know. I agree. I think it's going to be tough.
Well, I don't mind it being intertwined with things. Like Luke coming in at the end of Season 2.
Yeah, but see, like that's like a small thing, I think. Like, it more annoys me when it's like...
Or was that the end of Season 1?
That was Season 2.
Okay.
And it more annoys me when it's like... All right, here's a new character that if you've seen 7 episodes of this animated show, now you'll understand her backstory. Like, when I watched Mando Season 1, what I loved about it, it was Space Cowboy doing Space Cowboy stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's like he is integral part of the Star Wars mythos. That's not what I wanted from Mando. Like, I think it's okay to have stuff that's just on their own. And they couldn't leave it. Which, that's the choice they went and made. And I know we're excited about Ahsoka, which is so intertwined with everything, but it's like, it's 2 different things. And out of one of them, I expect this, where the other one, I don't want this.
I don't necessarily mind. I mean, as I just said, a little bit of intertwining, like Cad Bane coming into the series. I thought that was sweet. Like, I enjoyed that a lot. Probably because Cad Bane's one of the greatest, he is the greatest bounty hunter in Star Wars right now.
He kind of got instantaneously clapped.
Well, he's on the older side. That's my excuse for that.
Didn't he get clapped by, like, the one sheriff of that town?
No, he destroyed the sheriff. He got clapped by Boba Fett.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that show was rough.
That was kind of stupid.
That was bad.
I just don't really know why they're making a movie. Like, they've done 3 seasons. Why would they now make a movie?
Yeah.
And also, what are they going to be covering in that movie that they couldn't just make a season 4?
I think it's going to be a finale.
Oh, a finale?
I think it's going to be the end of the Mando Grogu story. I think most likely Mando will probably either become the next leader of the Mandalorians and take over whatever is of Mandalore, and Grogu will then move on to Luke's Jedi school, and then we'll kind of know how that goes with burning to the ground. But I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a 2.5-hour version of whatever a season 4 would be, and just go from there.
But why not make that into season 4, final season?
Well, they're making the 3 movies. So there's the Rey movie. There's going to be this, which is the end of this era of Mando. And then there's the early Jedi movie with James Mangold. Those are the 3 they've announced and are moving forward with.
Okay.
Which is just like, where is my, like, Republic stuff? Like, where is, like, the early Republic stuff? Which is just crazy. You're just sitting on that and not using it.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Oh well, Star Wars will be Star Wars and make the wrong choice consistently.
And so probably make a lot of money.
And we'll still be sitting there watching it.
And Ahsoka 2 will be good.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Glass half full. Let's keep a glass half full.
So there's a lot of 2s in our list. I'll quickly talk about The Last of Us, since you, for some reason, refused to watch The Last of Us.
I watched The Last of Us.
Oh, good. What did you know? Oh, you didn't watch the other thing we had listed. Halo you didn't watch. We'll talk about Halo.
Halo I didn't watch.
All right, let me talk about Halo really fast.
Okay.
Halo Season 2 trailer dropped. I love Halo. I think Halo is awesome. I think the story is great. The story of Master Chief and Cortana. Halo has one rule. Master Chief doesn't take his helmet off. That's his whole thing.
Oh, he took his helmet off.
Oh, Episode 1. In Season 1, this man takes his helmet off. And Halo has such a simple story. It's the future. There was an intergalactic war. Humans have now kind of joined the larger intergalactic community. You have the Covenant, which is coming, and the Master Chief just kicks ass. Then they chose to not do that story. And it's like, what are we doing here?
What story did they do?
They did, like, Pillars and, like, a Destiny and, like, all this weird, like, mythical stuff with, like, the Covenant that wasn't great, and, like, a scientist. It just wasn't Halo. And so now Season 2, like, is going to be covering the fall of Reach, which is, like, a huge thing in the Halo lore and is really cool. But I don't know if I, like, trust them to do this. And the thing that got me the most was everyone after Season 1 was like, the suits look great, the CGI looks great, the story's bad, and please leave his helmet on. So then they were like, oh, we get it now. Season 2 will fix a lot of stuff, and we'll move forward. First poster for Season 2.
Helmet off.
Helmet off. There's a clip,
how do you mess that up?
There's a clip in the trailer where Master Chief has no armor on. Like, what are we doing here? So, I don't know. I'll be watching, but
I just don't get how you can mess something like that up. Like, wouldn't you take on or hire a couple video game professionals or something just to make sure that you're satisfying that community that is your consumer?
Simple. And I get they wanted to have an actor in the suit, but, like, Master Chief probably is one of the most iconic voices in all of video games. So hire an extremely competent stunt person to put the suit on, and then just use the guy's voice from the games.
Yeah, that's what Mandalorian did.
Yes.
And it was great.
Yes, it's so simple. And it's like, I don't know, I think people overthink themselves sometimes. They're like, oh, we have to change, we have to make it better. It's like, what are we doing? Just do what works. All right, that was my Halo rant.
Well, I don't regret not watching it, though.
Yeah. Like, it's fine, but like, oh, it could be so much better because Halo's awesome. All right, The Last of Us
The
2.
Last of Us was great though.
Last of Us was great. So Last of Us 2 is starting to film soon, and we got some new additions to the cast, which I'm very excited about.
Oh,
So
do tell.
Have you played The Last of Us 2, Charles?
No.
All right. So The Last of Us 2 has a very interesting story that I will not spoil right now.
Okay.
But Isabella Marced has joined the cast of The Last of Us Season 2 as... I forget her name right now. But she is kind of... Oh, she's Dina. That's right. She's Dina in The Last of Us Season 2, who's Ellie's love interest, kind of love interest. I don't really want to... I'm not going to tell you how it kind of goes because I don't want you to, but there's a lot of that there. Young Manzo has joined as Jesse, but there's the big one. And this is the one I'm very excited about. And that is Caitlin Dever has joined Season 2. And she's going to be playing Abby. And oh boy. Abby. Okay. A lot of controversy when Last of Us 2 came out. Won't really get into that, but Abby, I think, is a great character that they can fix in the show. And I think if you do it really well, this could be peak TV. So I'm very excited about this.
Waiting. Is Abby the main character next to Pedro Pascal's character? Are they recasting her?
No, that's Ellie.
Right. It's been like a year since I watched that, I think.
No, so Abby is a separate character. Abby... So the end of Season 1, you saw that doctor he kills when they're trying to save Ellie.
Yeah. Well, they weren't trying to save Ellie. They were killing her.
They were going to kill Ellie, but save everyone
her.
else.
Yes.
And then Pedro Pascal, Joel, kills everybody.
Joel, right.
Turns out that guy had a daughter.
The doctor?
It's Abby.
Oh.
And it's kind of this story of, like, she wants revenge but doesn't know everything, so, like, it kind of goes on, and then Ellie, it's a lot of stuff, but I am very excited about this.
That sounds great.
It's going to be really awesome. I trust these people to kind of handle it and take over it. Like, Season 1, incredible. So, yeah, very, very excited for that. Definitely have more trust in that than Halo, which is...
Well, because they stuck by the video game, right?
Yeah, what a simple concept.
Yeah.
It's almost like story games have a good story for a reason. Yeah. Wild. Speaking of video games, Five Nights at Freddy's Season 2. Well,
how could they possibly make a second one?
I
think we left that movie and you said, "Oh, they're making a second one."
Oh yeah, I could feel it.
But what was the plot that you predicted?
Well, at the end of it, Matthew Lillard's character does like the spring trap and dies. Right? Mm-hmm. From the games, he comes back. That's like a whole thing, is like he comes back and is like more powerful than ever. I just hope they make it scary. Like, I get they're trying to get like a kid audience to come see these movies, but just turn up the dial like 2 or 3 degrees. That was our big thing, right? We were like, these games are horror games, and the movie is like not very scary.
I got more scared playing the game the night before.
Yeah.
Than I did watching that movie.
And, like, I'm not a big proponent of jump scares, but that's the whole thing with the game. And there was, like, maybe one in the whole movie.
Yeah, and it was pretty early on.
And then also when they were, like, friends with the animatronics. Just...
Yeah, there was happy music, and they were building a fort.
Yeah.
With the animatronics.
Just make them scary.
Yeah.
It should not be this hard, but we'll see. Josh Hutcherson is going to return, so...
Maybe he'll win his Oscar. You see that video of him in his MTV crib? He's giving it a tour.
It's the most 2000s house I've ever seen.
Yes, the most 2000s house. Oh. And in it, he goes, "Here's an Oscar. It says Josh Hutcher. You know, it's my name. Like, I'm going to win one."
Yeah.
Maybe he'll win it in Five Nights at Freddy 2.
If Josh Hutcherson wins an Oscar for Five Nights at Freddy's 2, I think you might as well just stop the Oscars after that. Because nothing will get better. That'd be so awesome.
Can only go down from there.
Yeah. That'd be so awesome. Oh. No, wait, why do I kind of want that to happen now? That'd be so great.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else with FNAF? Put Jack Black in these movies.
What's that?
Just put Jack Black in there. I don't know when.
Make him every animatronic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Also put Jennifer Lawrence in there. Just bring it back. Bring back the Hunger Games.
Just make a dream team in
Yeah.
that movie. Who else can we bring in? Emma Stone. Why not?
Yeah. Put a bunch of Oscar award winners in there.
That'd be nuts.
And then elevate Hutcherson's performance.
Yep.
And we're gonna get the Oscar.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
As a podcast, that's our goal.
Yeah.
To get him the Oscar for something, preferably this.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not getting it for The Beekeeper, which we'll talk about later.
You didn't like him in The Beekeeper?
I think that was fine.
He was just like, yeah.
He's like the dudes you see on Instagram, like selling you stuff.
Or the dudes on Instagram, like, I will be a millionaire by the time I'm 24.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
How I learned to financially levitate myself, and I'm actually just traveling the world now with my drop shipping business.
Yep, drop shipping. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And NFT.
Join my Discord
for
more tips on making money with drop shipping.
Join the program.
Yep.
Join the nation of army. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yep.
All right. Everything else in news is Tom Cruise, which is maybe my favorite topic of all time.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
So, a lot of things. Number one. Actually, no. We have one more news topic. Fantastic Four. They delayed filming, which was supposed to start basically now, until Q3 of this year.
Because Pedro Pascal had to step away from another movie, right?
That, and also I don't think anyone else has signed. But they've kind of signed, except for him. So right now, the list is Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards.
Great.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's good, but, like, is it really that inspired of a choice? Who knows? And then, let's see who else is in the cast. The guy from The Bear is supposed to be,
Jeremy Allen?
No, the cousin. Remember Cousin? He's going to be the, Ben Grimm, which is, I think, a cool choice.
Okay.
And then there's a few. Oh, here we go. I found it. Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. And Ebon Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm. Along with Pedro Pascal.
Who's the villain in that? Are we going to have a Doctor Doom?
I doubt it'll be Doctor Doom.
You know who I want as Doctor Doom? Okay, well, this was under the assumption that John Krasinski was Mr. Fantastic. Rainn Wilson as Doctor Doom.
Dude, he would be so bad.
What are you talking about?
No, dude. He would be so bad.
He'd be awesome.
He'd be awesome as, like, a joke. But, like, Doctor Doom needs to be terrifying. But also, like, mad charming and handsome.
Rainn Wilson.
There's a thing in the comics where, like, Doctor Doom, I forget which one it is, but, like, he goes crazy because he thinks he's so disfigured, and, like, he just kills people because he's like, I'm a monster on the outside, so I have to become a monster on the inside. And so he wears the mask the whole time, and then at the end of the story, he, like, takes off the mask after this killing spree, and he's got, like, one little scratch on his cheek. Like, that was to him,
Whoa.
like, because he's, like, so handsome.
Cold-blooded.
But no, I actually love this cast, specifically Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, which I think is awesome casting. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, I'll be honest, I don't know if he's got the sauce.
What else is Vanessa Kirby in?
Kind of need more swag from my Johnny Storm, but we'll see.
That Johnny Storm is or that actor, he's in Stranger Things, right?
That is, yeah, he's the guy from Stranger Things.
I think that'll be good. I mean,
see.
Nothing will ever beat Chris Evans.
We'll see. But yeah, that was our Fantastic Four talk. Really not much else to talk about because it just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back.
I will say about Fantastic Four and all of Marvel, for that matter, I am nearing that point where I'm thinking about stepping away.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm going to talk about that later when we get to our most anticipated.
And really the only thing holding me on right now from this year, well, what came out this year is Guardians, Quantumania, Echo, What If?
The Marvels.
The Marvels. Did Miss Marvel?
Loki Season 2.
Oh, shoot, that didn't. Yeah. Okay, we'll just save it for later.
No, let's get into it.
Okay, let's get into it. So right now I feel like it's like a 2-to-1 ratio of bad to good.
I agree.
And the good is keeping me there.
Yes.
This year, I think the only good was Loki season 2 and Guardians,
I would agree.
and everything else was either mid or just bad.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons, So, I think Deadpool 3 could bring me back in.
Oh.
I think Fantastic Four could bring me back in.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I also liked What If, but that's not enough to keep me in Marvel.
Yeah. So my big ones is, I think Spider-Man keeps me in. I agree, Deadpool. I'm also very excited for Blade, because I think it'd be very interesting if they can get that right. But I think you have a wealth of characters that you're just wasting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where is Shang-Chi 2?
Right?
What are we doing here?
Right? I loved that movie.
Commercially successful, like, huge character people started to love, and then it's like, all right, let's just sit on them for 5 years.
Yeah.
It's like, what
Crazy.
are we doing here? I think that they just tried to expand way too fast. I get what they're doing. If you're going for Secret Wars, you gotta, like, get as many characters as possible, but it's like, okay, then wait 8 years, wait 10 years before we do Secret Wars. Don't put that 5 years out.
Yeah, I mean, they started Iron Man, 2008?
Yes.
And they did Avengers Infinity War in 2017?
Yeah, 18.
Yeah, 10 years it took
Yeah.
them to build up the MCU.
To that big.
Are they trying to do Secret Wars in...
Yeah. And obviously it's hard.
6?
And I think that, people have expectations now where it's like, oh my God, if I don't get Glorbo Schmorbo as a cameo, like, I'm going to combust. It's like, no. Like, that's not what these movies were about. Like, think about how good Iron Man was. No cameos in that, except for Samuel Jackson at the end. But, like, it's like,
Yeah, but that's not a cameo if
No,
he's coming
he's
into
part
the
of the
MCU.
movie.
That was his introduction.
Exactly. And I think it's just like, it ruins these things now where it's like, oh, I can't watch because it doesn't have my 12 favorite characters in it. It's like, I don't get that idea, and I think it's starting to ruin stuff. Even though the best part of the most recent show was a cameo, which we'll talk about in Echo. But like, I just think that I think that they need to fundamentally take a step back and be like, we're getting too out there.
Yeah.
And we need to rein it in. Because, like, even a couple of things that were, like, good this year, like, I think that Guardians was great because it's a Guardians story. I think an example of a great use of a cameo was honestly in the Marvels, where Valkyrie showed up. Like, little things like that work
bad.
well. But when you have a moment where it's like, oh my God, I need to stop and clap, it's like, what are we doing here? Also, I think a big issue is end credit scenes that just don't go anywhere. Like,
Yeah, they have so many that are just going in every direction.
yes, like, even, okay, I think back in, like, Thor Love and Thunder. Like, okay, she's now in Valhalla. That's one of them. And then the other one was Hercules. When are we going to see Hercules? When are we going to see Thor again?
Yeah.
And it's like, you give an audience expectations of this stuff, and then nothing happens. Remember in Shang-Chi that the rings were, like, connected to something?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, this is going to come back and tell us something?
They
It's
didn't.
been, like, 3 years.
Yeah.
No idea.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Marvel was in that, so you're like, oh, it might connect to the Marvels. Nope. Like, I think that there's a million directions.
Also, the end of Doctor
go.
Strange.
Yeah.
He has a third eye now, and he's with
he
that,
met-
that random hero.
Yeah,
who has
with
never been...
Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Which, awesome, she's in the MCU. But, like...
But it's never been touched again.
Exactly. And so it's like...
I guess we're starting our MCU talk right now.
Yeah. They should have just done a Phase 1 again. And it's like, all right, we did Endgame. We'll take a break. Phase 1. Here are new heroes. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, and Ant-Man. All right, build around that. Now we'll have a new Avengers movie where it brings a new team together. We'll bring in Star-Lord because he's on Earth now, a few other people. Cool, new Avengers team. And then go from there. Like, it's so...
You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Exactly. People love the wheel. The wheel is great.
The wheel's what keeps us coming back.
The wheel goes round and round.
But yeah, they're circling back to what you said about Secret Wars, like they're trying to introduce all these characters. It's almost oversaturated now. Like, we have all these characters, but we have half-assed stories that they told us. So there's really, I don't feel passion for a lot of these characters. Shang-Chi, I have passion for him. I liked the new Black Panther. I think that's a cool addition to the team. But, like, there's Moon Knight, I liked him. There's not a whole lot that's enticing to
I
me.
think a big issue is that they change scripts consistently while they're filming.
Yeah, there's no cohesion.
There's no cohesion. I think, especially for a product like Marvel, you should be 2 to 3 years out on scripts being completed. I get if stuff changes, like with Chadwick Boseman, that was very unexpected. Like that, you changed a lot of things, or even obviously everything that's going on with Kang, that changes a lot of stuff. But for how big you are, you need to be that far out because then you have the opportunity to change stuff, and you can go forward and be like, all right, we need to change ABC. That'll take 4 months, but now you have the time.
Yeah.
Versus now, you're 2 weeks into filming, and it's like, oh well, we said one thing in one episode of a spin-off show that's on Disney Plus, so we need to switch this for a movie that's happening now that we're filming, and then because he changed that, another Disney Plus show now has to get changed, and it's like what are we doing here?
Well, you look at Star Wars, and they've done that perfectly. George Lucas made it a point that everything is mentioned in every show, every spinoff has to be kept consistent.
Yeah.
You look at that, and it's been a major success. The fans have loved it. They're like, oh my God, you have to watch Clone Wars because like this small thing will happen here, and it's really great. None of that has happened in Marvel. It's been like all over the place. And I think the biggest example is Thor: Love and Thunder with the cohesion.
Yeah.
You get Thor Ragnarok,
Tough.
which is probably top 5 MCU movie for me.
Yeah.
Just a great movie, funny, appropriate levels of humor, and a great story, great characters. And then you get Thor: Love and Thunder, which is just a dumpster fire.
I also think Taika just gave up on that one, if I'm being honest. I think Taika did not want to be there, and I don't know. I think he got too big for his britches. Like, I think he derailed that movie. But no, I agree. And I think what's interesting is that James Gunn, who's now in charge of DC, said they will not even look at a camera until the script is in its finalized state.
Great.
Which, looking at his quality of movies in the MCU, pretty clear he did that. So I think which is shocking, that's not the way you're already doing it. Like, I get if you change something here or there where it's like, all right, I think this line sounds better. But, like, changing story beats that are really important while you're standing there on set is a recipe for disaster. But, yeah, that was our impromptu Marvel talk.
We're going to do Echo review now?
Let's talk about Tom Cruise first.
Okay.
So Tom Cruise, 3 big things in news. Number 1 is Tom Cruise has been with Paramount for like ever recently, last like almost 2 decades. Mission Impossible, Reacher, all those things he's been in. Now Tom Cruise has a new deal with Warner Brothers. So now he's kind of moving over to Warner Brothers. He's not exclusive to Warner Brothers, but there's a big question of, okay, why is he moving over there? He's getting his own production company, his own office, all this stuff to make movies over there. One of the movies they want to make is Edge of Tomorrow 2. And, oh boy, please inject this in my veins, because I love Edge of Tomorrow. Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow did not do as well commercially as it should have for how good of it is. It's so good. And I think you're about to tell me you've never seen it.
Never seen it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I looked it up. When did it come out? A while ago, right?
Yeah. I've seen it maybe like 8 times. Whoa. I'm not even joking. I love it. It's so good. It's him and Emily Blunt, and it's like a Groundhog Day type movie. But instead of, Groundhog Day, they keep going into war every day. And so he just keeps getting shot and killed.
Oh my God.
By aliens.
How do you make a second one?
Okay, so that's the question. Because the end of the movie kind of brings them back to the beginning. But it's like a more hopeful way. And so it's like, okay, what's going to happen next? No idea. But if Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt are back on board, in my opinion, that means they figured it out. So if this happens, sign me up. If it doesn't happen, I'm also okay with it. Because, it's great as it is. But if they can figure it out, I will be there.
Cool. Question.
What kind of bear?
What bear is best? What has Tom Cruise ever won an Oscar or an award?
No.
Because the reason I say that You know how we talked about Dwayne The Rock Johnson, how he plays the same character in every movie?
Don't you dare tell me you think that Tom Cruise.
Do you
plays
think
the same.
Tom Cruise, not
No.
the same, but plays very similar roles in every movie? It's always like an action-packed.
No, because I think you've not seen enough Tom Cruise movies.
Probably.
Like, I think
I'm
we
just
should-
thinking
oh,
of the
we should do a
ones that
Tom
you
Cruise
mentioned:
episode.
Mission Impossible, The Reacher, Top Gun.
Okay, but like, also think about things like Collateral, Magnolia, Born on the 4th of July, Jerry Maguire. Like, these are very different roles.
Yeah, I forgot about all those.
I think we should do a Tom Cruise episode. I love Tom Cruise. But also Tom Cruise. Top Gun 3, baby. Let's go.
Dude, I gotta watch
Glenn
the Top
Powell
Guns.
is back. Miles Teller is back. The director is back. One of the writers is already writing the script. And here's also my opinion on this. I don't think Tom Cruise would do it if it's not going to be good. And that's why I'm excited about this. I don't think he would jeopardize what they did with those first two if 3 wasn't going to be equivalently good. And Maverick is so good that, like, I hope this is up there with that. I think it will be. I think that he will not even start rolling cameras until it's something special. So we'll have to wait and see, but
When is that releasing? 2026?
probably.
Okay.
It's going to take a while. I think it'd be sweet if they went to space. But I don't know how you do that.
Okay.
He just has to fly fighter pilots in space. That'd be sick. But yeah, we're getting a lot of Tom Cruise in the next few years. I think, so there's Mission Impossible, which is the final one, coming out next year.
There's another one coming out?
I'm sorry, did you not hear when I said my favorite movie of last year was Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1?
Oh, I didn't hear the part.
Gotta
one
have,
part. Maybe
gotta
I
have-
just had to hear that.
Maybe you gotta have Part 2. So yeah, that's gonna be the 8th and final one. Then he's doing a musical. He's doing
A musical, you say?
A musical, I say. Oh, are you not familiar with him in Rock of Ages?
No.
Let me tell you. Great movie. Also, you ever seen Tropic Thunder?
No.
Dude, we gotta put like a crash course together for you of like great movies. He plays a fat studio executive with really big hands. With Bill Hader in a comedy.
That sounds great.
It is great. He dances.
So it's a musical as well?
No.
Oh.
It's a comedy movie with Ben Stiller and like Jack Black.
That's just an all-time cast.
It is an all-time dude. Tropic Thunder is awesome. But yeah, so he's that. He's going to space in a movie. Like, he's actually going to space. And then he's doing a new action movie that I think is more R-rated. And then these two, which will be awesome. And honestly, I think that Tom Cruise deserves an Oscar. I was of the opinion he deserved it for Top Gun Maverick.
And then who won it instead?
I don't know. But they didn't deserve it. Should have been Tom Cruise.
Best actor?
Which would be, what, 2 years ago?
I think that was 2022.
That movie came out in 2021.
Oh.
So whoever won in 2021, hope you enjoy your false flag.
Anthony Hopkins?
Nope, should have been Tom Cruise.
Is that...
That sounds right, but it should have been The Cruise.
What movie was that?
Probably The Father.
Oh.
Was it The Father?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. Anthony Hopkins, The Father. Yep, nope. Fake news. Should have been our boy Tom Cruise.
And that's unbiased, right?
No, that's unbiased.
Yeah, I
So
figured.
we have 2 campaigns. We're doing the Josh Hutcherson for Oscar campaign and Tom Cruise for an Oscar campaign.
Okay. Hear me out. They're
right.
the same movie.
Supporting and lead.
Yes. And it's just the greatest movie of all time.
It would be the greatest movie of all time. And it's a musical.
And it's a musical.
Okay, I can get behind this.
And
Well-
it wins an Oscar for best score as well.
All right.
Or best track. Whatever the title of that Oscar is, it wins it.
All right, we're going to get trending. TCJH for Oscar. All right, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have a mission as a podcast now.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Do you want to do Echo or the Beekeeper?
I say we start with Echo. Keep the
Okay.
MCU train rolling.
All right, we'll keep
a
the
little bit.
MCU train rolling.
Yeah.
All right. Please tell me your thoughts on Echo.
Okay.
You wrote
So
this down.
I went through a couple different kind of phases with this one. Going into the show, I had no interest. I was like, just another Marvel show. I'm going to watch it because I have to watch it, but I'm not excited about it. First episode, did not like it.
Okay.
Was very bored. Felt like not a lot happened. Second episode, okay, starting to get good. Third episode, I was really, honestly enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like, the combat, the fight scenes were really cool. The whole rollerblading rink was really cool. I know it's rated MA. I think that's the only time we actually got an MA kind of scene or instance.
Yeah.
That's like the only time.
I would agree.
And it was cool. Because that's what I expected. Fourth and fifth is when they lost me. I'll go through the likes. Okay. One, I like the theme song.
You came very prepared for this.
I did, yeah.
I like this.
I was going through the show. Well, because when I was watching the show, I kind of went through like all these different emotions or feelings. Like, well, I like this, I don't like this. And I was like, well, I want to be able to remember all this. One, I like the theme song. We haven't really had a theme song in a Marvel show.
That's tough that that's your number one thing you like.
It's not the number one. It's just at the top of the list. I think I probably started this list at the beginning of episode 4, and that's
So that was the first thing you heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the theme song.
Okay. Yeah, I thought the theme song was fine.
Fight scenes were epic and well choreographed. That's exactly what I wrote.
Yeah, that first one, that's the long take, is really nice.
Yes. I thought the development with Fisk was really good at the beginning of episode 4 when they go back and yeah, I wrote that, and then that aged like milk.
Yeah.
Because you see Fisk and you see baby Maya,
Yeah.
or young Maya, and she starts beating this dude up.
That kind of rocked.
It was really, really great.
Yeah.
Well, not that she was beating this guy up, but
That was kinda cool.
that scene was very, very
Yes.
cool. And then the lineage of female ancestors, that was cool in the last episode because they finally tied it in.
Do you get it? Because her name is Echo, and it's like echoes of her past.
Yeah, they actually mentioned that like 6 times. Like
Isn't that great?
They really hit the nail on the head with that one.
The nail was actually shattered by the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that exact thing
Yeah.
many times. Dislikes.
All right.
This list is a little longer.
I would be shocked if it wasn't.
First, not an exciting story.
No.
And I get that this is about her kind of upbringing, her heritage, how she came to be this person, and how she developed into this hero. We really only got like 10 minutes of hero, though.
Yeah.
The end of episode 5.
Real tough that all of the shows end with a new suit, and then it's 10 minutes.
Yes.
Every show ends with that.
Yes.
Real bad.
Just not an exciting story. Multiple times during the show, the season, I was like, where are we going with this? What's the point of this?
Yeah.
I didn't realize what they were doing with all those ancestors until the last 10 minutes when she finally got her powers.
Yeah.
And I still don't really understand what her powers are.
Yeah, it's like circles on her hands.
She can heal, and I guess she can
But she
push.
can also like bestow her power on
bestow
other
her
people.
power into other people.
Also, can she like bring people into like a dream realm?
Yeah, that was weird. That was another thing I was pretty upset about. I wrote this. The story just didn't make sense. She spares Fisk.
Yeah.
Then she ditches Fisk and runs away. Then Fisk is like, oh, I don't like that. You spared me, but
After
now...
she already tried to not spare him
Yes.
because she shot him in the head.
She shot him in the head. He forgave her.
Yeah.
She didn't shoot him or kill him. He got mad.
Mm-hmm.
What? And then kidnapped her family,
Yeah.
right? Was about to kill her family. Then she takes him, she beats everyone, puts him into the dream, and then he comes out and he's like, what'd you do to me? And then leaves.
Yeah, real bad.
That does not make sense at all to me.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There weren't a ton of likable characters. Bonnie, I feel like I was supposed to feel...
They really wanted you to like Bonnie.
Yeah, I feel like I was
And
supposed to
I
like Bonnie
really didn't like
and be
Bonnie.
protective or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was just nothing. I wasn't super into that.
Yeah.
Something, I said this, but some things didn't make sense. She went back home not to see her family.
Yeah, like I get she went back to like mess up the the cartel of Fisk,
Yeah.
but like he probably has like 1,000 of those outposts.
Hmm.
It's like I'm gonna pick the one in my hometown, but also try to avoid everybody. It's
Yeah.
like, why did you not pick a different one?
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. She turned her back on everyone.
Mm-hmm. She did do that.
That one, I guess they explained a little bit
Yeah.
because she felt like she had no one to trust. But
One of the biggest thing I noticed that Fisk, who apparently loved her, didn't learn like any ASL.
yeah,
Really weird,
yeah,
especially since he knew her from like a child.
yeah,
Like you think by at least like when she was an adult, he would like at least kind of know how to talk to her.
yeah. It reminded me a lot of Thanos and Gamora.
Yes, I think that was supposed to be the intention, especially the one there, the scene of them walking away, holding hands. That was
Okay.
very much like the exact same.
Yeah. Last one, and then I'll let you talk. It dragged so much. I wanted to pay attention and I wanted to get into it. But then you get like a 2 minute, I kid you not, a 2 minute scene with some I don't know, some interesting music,
Yeah.
introspective music, and her just riding a motorcycle. There were
Yeah.
there were like 2 minute scenes, multiple of them, where it's just that,
Oh yeah.
and it wasn't even the end of an episode.
I agree. Real bad.
Yeah. Now
All right.
you may go.
I was very excited for Echo. Like, sneaky one of my more anticipated Marvel projects of the year. And I'm counting last year. And this was kind of a dumpster fire.
Did you have high hopes because of Daredevil, and you thought Daredevil would be
I had high hopes for a few reasons. Number
an
one,
integral part?
not necessarily that. I knew he was going to be just a cameo. And we just talked about how cameos like should not be the make or break, which now I'm about to say like, oh, it was great. But like I had high hopes from the fact that they were taking it seriously. It was going to be TVMA. It was going to be this more subtle drama. You're bringing back characters like Kingpin, like Daredevil, like who are very different and very grounded in comparison to things we've gotten. And also after watching Hawkeye, I was like, this is a very interesting character. A character who honestly kicks some serious ass. Like, especially if it's well choreographed, can do some interesting stuff. And then it just devolved into not that. And so I'll do my pros and cons as well. The grandpa was awesome. This is a cool little shop building cool stuff. I think Alakwa Cox as Echo was great. Like, I think it's actually like a really interesting role for someone. I don't think there was enough here narratively to fill 5 episodes. And apparently this was 8 episodes that they then cut down to 5. And like, yikes.
That was 8 episodes.
It was supposed to be, which is like real rough. Because if that was the story supposed to span over 8 episodes, I don't know how you could do that. I like the idea of her powers being like this echo to the past. I think that was really cool. I just think that it was done poorly.
Yeah.
And I liked like the flashback scenes to be like, okay, here's how she kind of got this power, or like even like the throwing, like with like the one former whoever had the ability that could like throw things really well, and then she threw the things the same way, and it was kind of like tying into all that. I think that was cool, but it's like, I don't know. I just think that that's such a boring power. Like if you're gonna make her powered, make her more powerful, but also I just think it was more interesting when she didn't have powers. Like the powers almost ruined it for me. And I think if you could have gave her anything, it would have been like insight. I think that would have been an interesting power where it's like, all right, she now can see, she now has like the experiences of those who came before her, and she now understands the world a little bit more. Because I think that's the thing she struggled with the most, was like she didn't get it. She didn't get that like the Kingpin and all them like knew how to control people. She just kind of thought it was her uncle controlling things. Like she didn't get there was more, and I think that was a big issue for me. Getting into the cameos, the Daredevil fight was awesome. I'm a Daredevil stan through and through. He's the GOAT. And that was great. And that makes me excited for his show and his series, and like I'm very excited for that. Kingpin should be way more than what this was. So for you who didn't watch the Daredevil show, and for everyone else who didn't watch the Daredevil show, Kingpin takes no prisoners and will just beat you to death, like instantaneously. So you watched Into the Spider-Verse.
Big dude, yeah.
So when he kills Peter Parker in the beginning, imagine that times 6 of anger level and like what he does to people. That's Kingpin and Daredevil. Like he is.
That was a brutal kill.
But that was like baby food compared to what he does.
Like Donkey Kong smashed this.
Exactly.
Both hands came down.
And that is the Kingpin that I think is way more interesting. Like he did the whole when I was a boy. Like he kills his father. He talks about like, oh, my father died. He was the one who killed his father with a hammer. Like that is a huge part of his character in Daredevil. And it's like, if you're going to utilize these characters, make them the characters they were. Like, it doesn't make any sense to just bring them in and be like, they're kind of like this, but they're not. It's like, do it correctly.
It's also TVMA.
Yes.
You've got unlimited.
Like, don't be shy with it. Like, if you're going to promote, like, this is the Marvel's first mature series, then do it.
Yeah,
like just do it then.
Again, the only thing that really seemed TVMA was that one scene in the rollerblading rink.
Which even really was like... I feel
it was
like,
pretty gory.
Yeah, but I feel like we saw the same level of gore in Moon Knight.
Was that TVMA? No.
No. So,
yeah, that's a good point. Moon Knight was pretty
The
gory.
only thing from the series that gets me excited is the fact that they're at least trying TVMA and the ending. With Fisk on the plane, and he's going to go run for mayor. That gets me excited.
There's still one more episode.
No, did you? The post-credit scene.
I didn't see the post-credit scene.
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, no. I didn't know there was one.
Post-credit scene, Fisk is on a plane. He's kind of beat up. He's going back to New York. And then he's watching the news, and they're talking about the mayoral race. And they're basically like, no one likes these two candidates. I can't believe it's between these two. I wish there was someone on the outside who wasn't like these slimy politicians, who was just a man of the people. And then Fisk is like, that could be me. Which sets up, in the comics, when Fisk becomes mayor and controls everything. And so all the street-level heroes have to like fight against him, which gets me excited for Daredevil.
Yeah.
Which gets me unexcited for Daredevil is the fact that the writing on this show was so poor, and I don't know if they can handle writing Daredevil to the level it was on Netflix. So we'll have to wait and see. But this show is disappointing. It's kind of the definition of, okay.
You know what I just realized? Well, first of all, when Fisk says at the end of Hawkeye, Maya, we're family.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know why, but
Yeah,
every
that's
time he
great.
said that, I was like, that's just...
We're family.
We're family. I think a cool ending, I know you said that you don't like cameos. I don't love cameos. I don't think this necessarily is a cameo.
Mm-hmm.
Bring Jeremy Renner into it. Like, she goes to find Jeremy Renner, the only one that was, like, honest with her.
Yeah, I think...
That would have been cool.
I actually kind of agree with that.
That would have set up the
nice.
Avengers.
Yeah, or even if she went to him and was like, you were right. Because he tells her that, and I don't really remember them having any resolution. Because she runs away, and then at the end shows up just to Fisk and shoots him.
Yeah.
But Jeremy Renner doesn't know anything about that. So I think that would have been actually a descending where it's like, you were right, and then he can kind of show her the error of her ways.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, no, that would have been better.
I think it would have been cool.
Apparently, Kingpin is going to become like the Thanos of street-level heroes, which he always should be.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. But, like, if you're going to take these characters, do them right. I don't know if you saw the article that Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil, said when he was like, he's like, I got to the set of She-Hulk, and I had to remind the writers that Daredevil was blind. He's like, there was stuff in the script that was like, Matt Murdock looks at this, or reads this, or, like, does this. And he's like, guys, he's blind. Like, I get he's a superhero and, like, uses his abilities to see things without seeing things.
Oh, my God.
But he's still a blind man. Which, thank God for Charlie Cox being so in love with this character that he, like, cares about this stuff. But it's like, what are we doing here?
Oh, my God.
So,
They gotta slow down.
Yes.
And just make good.
But the reason I'm excited for Daredevil is it's 18 episodes.
Oh my.
A lot of the old people are coming back. We'll have to wait and see. But bring back Foggy and Karen. Like, bring them back. Also, if Jessica Jones shows up, that'd be sick. I cannot. You got to watch the Netflix
Yeah,
Marvel
I know.
shows. They're so good.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah, I'll watch them.
But yeah, anything else on Echo?
Um, no, I mean that's kind of it. I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
went through all my bullet points.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Now for something that was actually good. The Beekeeper.
God, that movie rocked.
This
That
movie
movie was
rocked.
sick.
Oh, this movie rocked.
Okay,
All right.
are we gonna do spoilers?
Let's do non-spoiler first, and then
Okay.
we'll get into spoilers. Even though, like, it's not like this is like a spoiler alert movie. You and I both gave this 3.5 stars on Letterboxd, which you should follow Letterboxd if you aren't. It's in the link of the podcast description. Directed by David Ayer, who brought us some good movies, some bad. End of Watch, good. Fury, good. Bright, bad. Suicide Squad, bad. So, expectations somewhat low going into this.
Mm-hmm.
A movie about a guy who's a beekeeper, played by Jason Statham, who is probably best known for playing Crank or the titular role in The Meg or The Meg 2 or the main villain in some Fast and Furiouses until he is finally in Hobbs and Shaw, which is just an awesome movie for some reason. I think we both agreed we need to protect the hive when we watch this movie. This rocked.
Yeah.
Like,
there were so many times in that movie where I just like leaned against my seat with my mouth open, my eyes wide. Just I cannot believe that.
I almost cheered at points.
Yeah.
I almost cheered. This movie is great. And it's not like it's like a great movie from like a standpoint of like history of cinema.
It's just
But
fun.
it just rocks.
Yeah.
It is
Just a dude
yeah, dudes rock.
kicking the absolute shit
Yes,
out of
he
everyone.
just beats everybody. He's always like 20 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good. And it's like, so the plot is basically those call centers that like scam old people out of their money. That like they go on their computer and it's like, please call this number, and then they just take off their accounts. So he is living in the barn of an older woman, and then this happens to her. She kills herself because she lost everything. And so he goes on a revenge tour to take everybody down.
Literally. What do we?
And he's a beekeeper, and then it turns out that the beekeepers are like an organization that not even the government really knows a lot about. And it's like, when all laws fail, you have me. It's like,
Just one person.
just
one dude.
guy.
Yeah.
There's just one dude
Who was
And he-
retired.
Yeah, he was retired. He was just wanted to keep his bees and keep the hive happy.
Also, the fact that every single time a special agency like the CIA or the FBI
Yeah.
heard that a beekeeper was involved, they all looked terrified.
Yeah, they were so scared.
They were
so scared.
trembling. Like
Yeah.
the one guy at the head of the FBI, they say, I think it's a beekeeper. And the guy just looks up like, oh, God.
Yeah, not a beekeeper. Like, so funny. So many bee jokes throughout. To be or not to be. He's like, I think I'm to be. It's like, oh, just
Yeah.
dudes rock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Jason Statham's got it. Whatever it is, he's got it.
Yeah. Invincibility mode.
Yeah. And, like, what a surprise this was. I think that there's always a few movies a year that are like this kind of movie, where it's like the first John Wick, or Nobody from like a few years ago, or even like, like Taken. There's always these movies that are like a dumb concept, that are action movies with like a random kind of actor who's in the action world, but then every once in a while they're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the pretty good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And the ending sets up for a pretty good sequel, and like, I'll be protecting the hive whenever this guy needs me to protect the hive. Like, he rocked.
Yeah.
It also makes me want to keep bees, because like that suit he had was sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that honey looked delicious.
I know.
It was maybe the most delicious looking honey I've ever seen.
It tops Winnie the Pooh.
No, like, it looked so good.
Yeah.
Oh, when the light like shined through it.
Mhm.
Whoa. So good.
Some nectar.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the Beekeeper was great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what else to say about it. Like,
Yeah.
Jason Statham's got the heat. He can do it.
Yeah. Speaking of sequels, we actually last week we were really fortunate to have a little sneak peek of Dwayne the Rock Johnson's audition. We actually have a spin-off sequel trailer. We were able to get early access, so we'll attach it right here. Take a listen.
In a world where shadows hold secrets and vendettas run deep, one man is about to embark on a journey that will change the course of a nation. Alex Brick, a man with a past he thought he buried. Little did he know, vengeance has a way of unearthing the darkest secrets. Tonight, we uncover the covert organization pulling the strings, and at the center of it all, a man named Alex Brick. He was their weapon, but now he's their target. The Gardeners will stop at nothing to silence him.
They took everything from me. Now, it's time to take everything from them. It's time to clear the weeds. Former operative declares war on the Gardeners. National security at stake. We must fertilize the bed. We must protect the garden.
The Gardener, coming soon. Get ready for a thrill ride that exposes the shadows and demands justice.
Looks like that soil is acidic.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
That's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
You thought the Beekeeper was good.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Maybe there will be a Beekeeper cameo in this one.
One can hope for the Beekeeper cinematic universe.
Yes.
That'd be
The
awesome.
Beekeeper multiverse.
Into the Keeper.
It's like all the Kangs, but instead it's all the Beekeepers. And they're fighting.
Yeah. Beekeeper into the hive.
Yep. Whoa.
Yeah. And each universe is like their own, what is it, like the hexagon in like a larger.
Oh my god, the possibilities are truly endless.
That'd be a
Truly
great scene.
endless.
You know, like the end of Men in Black when they like always zoom out and it's like they're just like a little thing in a larger universe. That's what I want. The Beekeeper too.
I wonder when they're going to remake the Men in Black movies.
Dude,
They definitely are.
did you know they were gonna make Men in Black 21 Jump Street?
What?
Are you aware of this?
They were going to make.
You know 21 Jump Street
Yeah.
with Jonah Hill,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They were gonna make a crossover. Men in Black 21 Jump Street. It was gonna be the 21 Jump Street guys get brought into the Men in Black with Will Smith.
That just would have been
Awesome.
possibly the greatest thing that life could ever offer.
Yes. And they didn't do it.
That's a missed opportunity.
Doesn't that suck?
That's a missed opportunity.
I know. That came out when the Sony emails all got leaked, and they wanted to make a dubstep Spider-Man. Who did he did dubstep and he did Tough Mudder. That was their goal for Spider-Man because they want him to relate more to millennials.
Oh my god.
That's why the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2 has like the dubstep at the end. Remember when he's going around the electrical towers?
Oh
Electro?
yes.
It's like brum, 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 brum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That was also just really cool.
Yeah. Oh, that song in that movie when he's like in his room and he's like, "How can I keep you, Gwen Stacy?" That song rocks.
I don't remember. I haven't
Well,
seen
I'm
that
gonna put it at the end
recently,
of the,
no.
I'll put it at the end of the pod.
Okay.
That song.
Good call.
Yeah. That song is so good.
Yeah.
That movie actually rocks too. It's not good, but like the swinging in that is exceptional.
I think the first Amazing Spider-Man is cracked. The second one was pretty lame, but the first one with the
Dude, but the
lizards.
swinging in the second Amazing Spider-Man, like that opening when he like
Yeah,
does
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
that
yeah.
pose is. Oh,
Yeah,
sign me up.
yeah.
All right, that was Beekeeper Talk. We both gave it 3.5 stars. We highly recommend. Is it a piece of cinema that will last forever? Probably not. Is it kind of awesome?
Is it a fun watch? You better believe it.
It is great.
You better believe it.
Maybe the best use of a tie-down cable in any movie ever.
Oh, Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best use of a lot of things in that movie.
Easily best stapler use of any movie.
Yes.
That was great.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
Dude gets up and he's just,
Yeah. Just covered.
no spoilers, but
No spoilers, but great. All right. Let's do our ranking here. So this will be our most anticipated movies of 2024. Honestly, kind of disappointed the Beekeeper wasn't on my list after watching that.
hey, that's number one on both of our 2024 lists, though.
Yeah, so far, best movie of the year.
Yeah, best movie
Wish
of
we
the
still
year.
see Mean Girls, but
And it's not close.
no, it's a far first.
Yeah.
All right, Charles, I have an issue. I have 7. I know we said top 5, but would it be possible for me to talk about my 7 and 6 before we get into our top 5? Because I
can
choose.
give some HMs.
No, we'll do HMs at the end.
You're doing top
These,
7.
but these aren't HMs. These are like I didn't know where to put them on the list.
Oh, well then I can still do top 5, but I can throw in some HMs.
Yeah, but I have other HMs as well.
All right.
All right, let me do
okay.
my 7 and 6. All right, at number 7, I have Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga. I'm very excited for this. I really like Mad Max Fury Road. People say it's the best action movie ever. I disagree, but I think this is going to be also quite amazing. It's about a younger Furiosa. It's Anna Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth. I just think it's going to be awesome. I'm just excited for it. It's my number 7. Couldn't crack the top 5, but like I had to mention it. And my other one is a 2-part movie coming out this year, Charles, that we're getting a month apart from each other. And that is Horizon: An American Saga Chapter 1.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I read about this.
So this is Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Probably best known now for Yellowstone
Okay.
or Waterworld. Or what's the one where he's in baseball? The baseball movie? Field of Dreams?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a chronicle about the pre- and post-Civil War expansion and settlement of the American West. This was supposed to be just a small, kind of Oscar baity movie, and then Kevin Costner got his hands in it, and it became a 5-hour epic that they cut into 2 parts that are coming out a month apart. And I kind of love it. The budget has exploded past what they ever thought it was going to be. It was supposed to be like 50 million. It's at like 120 now. Like, this either is going to be the biggest flaming dumpster fire or this is going to be awesome.
It's going to be something special.
We don't get a lot of cowboy movies anymore. We don't get a lot of Civil War America movies anymore. This might be great. Just to read you some of the cast: Kevin Costner, Sam Worthington, Sienna Miller, Jamie Campbell Bower, Luke frickin' Wilson, and Thomas Hayden Church is some of the people. Michael Rooker's also in here. But like, oh boy, is this going to be something I'm there for day one. But those are my 6 and 7.
Okay.
I apologize, but I couldn't cut them out the list.
It's
I had
okay,
to talk
man.
about them.
Hey, you don't have to apologize.
No,
it's
I
fine.
had to talk about
I
them.
respect it.
I think we already figured out that we have a different list.
We have very different lists.
Do you want to go 1 through 5 or 5 through 1?
We have to go 5 through 1.
All right. You can go first. I just spoke about my team.
Okay. For my 5, let's see. I didn't really rank them. I should have. I would say, honestly, I'd say Civil War.
All right.
Yeah, my 5. Coming out the 26th of April. It's so I just watched a movie called Leave the World Behind.
Yeah, you did.
Came out in 2023. Pretty lame. I think I talked about it last week. It just,
Yep.
I was really captivated, and then they just ended the movie without accomplishing anything. That was my issue with it. But as I said, I was captivated. The idea of it, kind of like other countries trying to sabotage the U.S. in becoming a civil war in the modern era, that's really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think after reading the summary of this, that's kind of the summary of what's going to happen. There's going to be a current modern era civil war with all the technology, social media we have now. Who's in it? Is it?
So it is
Kirsten Dunst?
Kirsten Dunst and a few other people, but I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Because my king is in it.
Who's your king?
Do you know my king, Charles?
Um.
Married to Kirsten Dunst. The good boy Jesse Plemons.
Oh.
I love Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
I have an issue with this movie, Charles.
What is your issue?
Well, first and foremost, it's the most expensive A24 movie ever,
Whoa.
which is exciting, I think. I like Alex Garland, who is the director. He is probably best known for directing things like Annihilation and Ex Machina.
Mm-hmm.
I have an issue because the story of this movie is that California and Texas are the two groups that secede and like come together.
Ooh, that
Which
doesn't
means
make
this
lot
is a
of sense.
fiction movie.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
This is high fantasy now.
Wait, they come together against the
Yes.
rest of the U.S.?
Yeah, that's like the story.
How
Which
did-
honestly, if Texas and Florida teamed up, we'd be done.
Yeah, we'd be in
They're
trouble.
built different down there.
I don't know. I feel like we could get some Wisconsin.
Some high Minnesota people,
Yeah.
like way up in that state.
I feel like
Yeah.
they could do some real damage up there.
Some northern Michigan folks would put up a fight.
I feel like
Some Yoopers.
some northern people would be a lot more tactical in a war, whereas Florida and Texas would just be guns a-blazing.
Yes. But I hope this is done smartly. I have a worry this will be too nail on the head. But I'm very excited for this movie.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah. no, I'm
Regardless.
excited. And we'll do a pod about it for sure. But yeah.
What's
Is
your
that-
5?
My number 5 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I think that the modern Planet of the Apes trilogy
Don't say it. Don't
is
say
a
it.
top 3 trilogy of all time.
You think it's better than the originals?
By far.
What?
I will I'm about to say what I'm about to say. I would say the Planet of the Apes trilogy is better than the Dark Knight trilogy.
That might be the craziest thing that has ever come out of your mouth.
I think it is so good.
That is
and
a
each-
frigid take.
And each movie
That take is
better.
in a freezer. That's how cold it is.
I think the Dark Knight. No, not to get in this. I just think the Dark Knight elevates those two other movies by exceptional degrees. But I love the Planet of the Apes movies. My big worry with this is that the man directing it, Wes Ball, has done a few other things. Most notably, he did all of the Maze Runners, which is tough.
Id.
But my positive spin zone
Oh, spin zone. We love a spin zone.
is he's also attached already to the Legend of Zelda movie, which means most likely this tested well internally because that probably helped him get the Legend of Zelda job.
Okay.
But I am very excited. So it's years after Caesar's reign, and like it's going to be them more so taking over and figuring it out and how to kind of run society as apes.
Okay.
Very excited.
I still
Cannot
don't
wait.
like that Dark Knight take. I'm not really over that.
Well, maybe we could do that one day as a draft or something.
Okay.
All right, number 4.
I would say number 4, probably Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The last Ghostbusters, quite good.
The what?
The last one.
Oh,
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
What?
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 Whatever.
Did you not see Ghostbusters 3
Oh, the one with the
with Paul Rudd?
no.
What?
What?
So you're excited for the sequel that you haven't seen the first one?
I realize now. Yes. I do have to watch the well, okay. We just watched the Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
What?
We just watched Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
So you're excited for Ghostbusters
And so
4.
now I'm in just the Ghostbusters mood.
So you're excited for
or
Ghostbusters,
Ghostbusters
4
movie.
without seeing Ghostbusters 3.
Yes, but I'll watch Ghostbusters 3.
So did
and
you
I'll
watch
get
the
into it.
trailer for this and you're like, who are these people?
No, because I saw the trailer for the other one.
Dude.
I just didn't put 2 and 2 together
Okay.
for whatever reason. Yeah, I'm mostly excited for it just because it's Ghostbusters. Not because I think it's going to be a good movie. I just like Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
In hindsight,
you probably should have seen
I
the
should have
third
seen the third one,
one. I'm excited for this movie.
but I'll see the
also.
third one before.
I think it's cool that it's going to be we're back in New York,
Yeah.
which I guess you didn't know that they weren't in New York in the third one. But I'm excited for them to be back in New York. I think it's cool that Bill Murray and the rest of the cast
Yes,
are now more
agreed.
prominent in this one. But yeah, it seems really nice. And like I really liked McKenna Grace and Finn Wolfhard's story in the last one. So like I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, sign me up. It's not on my top 5, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be good. Is that all you have to say about a movie of a sequel you haven't seen?
Well, yeah. Considering that, in hindsight, I should have watched the third one before I put that on my list, or at least thought about that. But I mean, I'll watch the third one. I'm certain that's not going to deter me at all from keeping that on.
Probably get you more excited.
Yeah.
Third one was great.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Megalopolis. So I know very little about this movie. It stars Adam Driver. Shia LaBeouf is in it.
Well, the last Adam Driver movie we got
Rough.
was.
Okay, let me explain to you why I'm excited for this. Francis Ford Coppola, and for those of you who don't know, Francis Ford Coppola brought us The Godfather, The Godfather 2, The Outsiders, Apocalypse Now. Probably one of the most famous directors of all time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He retired a while ago and became a wine salesman. He grew wine. He had a vineyard, Coppola Wines. But he had this dream to make this movie called Megalopolis. For like the last decade, or even longer, he's wanted to make this movie. And no one would give him the money to make this movie. And so he decided, I'll do it myself. And so he sold his entire wine empire as a gamble to fund this movie that he believes in so much. It's about an architect who wants to rebuild New York City and make it a utopia.
Following a devastating disaster.
Exactly.
We're both on IMDb right
We
now.
both are on IMDb right now. I think this could be incredible or the greatest failure story in the history of Hollywood, which is why I'm very excited to see it.
I didn't know about that. That is... Stakes are high.
Oh, yeah. I think the budget's already ballooned over to $100 million.
Oh, my God.
So...
Aubrey Plaza's in it.
Aubrey Plaza is in it. Kind of very excited for this.
I'm
It could be
excited.
great. Could be real, real bad.
Sweet.
Could also be awesome.
I'm sure it'll be good. If he's had this dream for 10 years, he's probably perfected it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to doubt the man who brought us Godfather and Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
So, but that just sounds great.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
All right, top 3.
Top 3.
Yeah.
Number 3, I've got Argyle.
Who is Agent Argyle?
Huh?
Got to find out who the real Agent Argyle is.
Honestly, I don't really know what's like going on in this movie. I see the trailer and I can't really follow it. It's
Yeah.
more just seeing the all-star cast.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I want to see it. Also, Henry Cavill. Who doesn't love Henry Cavill?
Yeah. Dua Lipa.
Yeah, Dua Lipa.
John Cena. It seems like the story is this woman is a writer who writes spy novels.
Mm-hmm.
But it just so happens whatever she writes actually happens. And they're trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
But, like, I've seen this trailer a bajillion times. I just want to know who the real Agent Argyle is. Because they tease it. And it's got to be Henry Cavill with a better haircut. Because his haircut's real bad in this movie.
It is?
Have you not seen his haircut in this movie?
It looks fine. It's just short.
Dude, his haircut is rough.
This?
Rough.
You think that's bad?
That's real bad.
You're just hanging.
You tell me you want that haircut?
Well, no, I'm not saying I'm just saying that I see it on him and I think, like, it's a fine haircut.
You and I have different definitions of a fine haircut.
All right.
But I'm excited for Argyle, and we'll actually get to review it pretty soon. It comes out, like, next month.
Heck yeah.
So, I'm Argyling over here. All right, my number 3
Yeah.
is also a 3. It's Deadpool 3.
Nice. I was waiting. I was wondering when you were going to drop Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3, the only Marvel movie to come out this year.
Nice.
Which I think is a good
I like
choice.
that, yeah.
Directed by Sean Levy, who did not do the first 2, but most notably
Sean Levy.
Free Guy, Night at the Museum, The Atom Project,
Yeah.
Real Steel.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am here for this.
So him and Ryan...
How did he get this?
Him and Ryan Reynolds have done actually quite a few projects together recently. They did the Atom Project 2 years ago, and a year before that they did Free Guy. Remember the one where he was like in a video game?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think were both pretty great movies. So he got this project, the return of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot riding on this movie.
There's a lot.
this might be one of the most high-pressure movies of all time.
You think? All time?
I think so. I think if they mess this up, it's over.
People are done. You can't mess
Yes.
up bringing the X-Men into it.
If you mess up Deadpool, I think you'll lose such a large chunk of the audience. But my other thing with this is, if this underperforms, it's over. Because I hate to say it, I get why the Marvels underperformed. I get why Quantumania underperformed. I also kind of get why Guardians didn't crack a bill. If this doesn't work, they might as well pack it up and go home. Because this should be the most surefire home run of all time. And if it's not, yikes.
Yeah.
But I do think it's going to be great. I'm tired of leaked set photos that are like all over the place, but like I think that Ryan Reynolds knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I think no matter what, it's going to be good. Will it be great? We'll find out.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
I really hope so.
But yeah, no, that's my number 3, Deadpool 3. Excited.
Sweet.
Top 2.
My 2, I actually did not know this was coming out until very recently. Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim.
The animated film.
Yes.
Dude, yeah.
Well, I looked it up. It's coming out at like the very tail end.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense why I hadn't heard of it very much. But yeah, animated film about, I guess, the making of Helm's Deep, which is great. I love the films. That's honestly my favorite trilogy. Like I could watch that every day for the rest of my life, and I would never get tired of it. But in the movie, second movie, Two Towers, they talk about Helm's Deep. They retreat there to get away from the Uruk-hai, and then they have not their final stand because they come out on top, but they have a pretty triumph.
They thought it was their final
They
stand.
thought it was, but they had
Yeah.
a pretty triumphant victory over the Uruk-hai, and that's kind of like what led Saruman to get defeated, and yeah, sets up the world of men for the third movie to take a dub. Anyway, Helm's Deep, really, really cool.
This could be sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's a really sweet design in the movies. It's literally just caved into a mountain so that there's one entrance, one exit. So, yeah, I guess it's probably going to go through the first war and when people had to retreat there for the first time. And I'm here for it. I think it's going to be awesome.
I think the fact this is animated makes me more excited.
Yeah.
I think you can do some really cool stuff with this.
Yeah.
And I hope, I say this not from an art style standpoint, from a creativity standpoint. I hope they take some ideas from Spider-Verse of how to do action and how to really push the medium of animation. But I think it'd be really cool if they made this like old school, almost cell shaded animation instead of new school 3D. Like I would love this if this was 2D.
Oh, I was honestly kind of picturing that.
Yeah,
2D?
I think it'd be really cool if it was 2D instead of 3D.
Yeah.
I think that would just be like, oof, chef's kiss.
I hope they,
I'm not even a big Lord of the Rings guy, and this gets me really excited.
going off of what you were saying about the Spider-Verse, I hope they change the colors or do something cool with the, I forget what the song is called, but the really ominous music in Lord of the Rings. The one that's like dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun. You know?
Lord of
I
the
hope
Rings is great music.
Yes. I hope they do something really cool with that.
Oh,
When whoever is attacking attacks.
this can be great.
Yeah.
Oh, very excited. Okay, my number 2 is a number 2. And that is
Dune.
Joker 2.
Joker 2?
What'd you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say Dune 2.
No, I'm saying Joker 2.
Oh.
So Joker Folie Deux, which is pretentious, is a sequel to The Joker. And it's a musical.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
We did talk about it last week. I think this is going to be great.
Lady Gaga is Harley Quinn.
Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn. Joaquin Phoenix is back. The thing that gets me excited about this is Todd Phillips is returning, who directed the first one. But Joaquin Phoenix, after his Oscar and everything, repeatedly said, I will not do this again unless it's great. So clearly, at least the script has got that sauce.
A lot of movies you're excited for, you're pretty adamant that the actors wouldn't do it if it's a good movie.
I mean,
Mission Impossible,
unless they wrote a fat check,
Yeah.
which is possible.
Yeah.
Because they made $1 billion,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But no, I'm very excited for this. I hope the music's good. Like, it'd be fun if they put some just bops in there. I'd love if it was like a cool dichotomy where like it's like a fun upbeat song and like what they're doing is just awful.
Yeah.
Like if they were just like beating people, but the song is like very happy and cheery. It'd be very like interesting to see.
Agreed.
Definitely a very dangerous creative choice to have it be a musical. But oh boy.
I think it'll be cool.
I think it's going to be real cool. So, yeah. That's my number 2, Joker Folie Deux.
Sweet.
Your number 1, Charles.
You can probably guess what my number 1 is.
This is Kung Fu Panda 4.
Oh my god, it is Kung Fu Panda 4. Wait a minute. Shoot! Oh, I meant to put Deadpool 3 on the list. I completely forgot about Kung Fu Panda
You
4.
didn't put Dude, hang on. You put Argyle above Deadpool 3.
Okay, bump everything back one. So Civil War's now my 6. We'll put Deadpool 3 as my number 2.
No, you already said it. It's in the pod forever. So.
Well, now that's in the pod too. So, yeah,
Asterisks.
Kung Fu Panda 4. That's gonna rock. Well, actually, I don't even know if it's gonna be that
So we
great.
actually do have no matching.
Nice.
Good for us.
Well, now we do with Deadpool 3.
No, it doesn't count.
Kung Fu Panda 4. That's been like my movie for the longest time. Or not Kung Fu Panda 4, but the Kung Fu Panda trilogy. Those have been just mine for so long. I saw the trailer for Kung Fu Panda 4. I'm still excited. I wasn't super impressed with it. They have confirmed that the Furious 5 are coming back, but I don't know. Excluding the Furious 5 from the trailer seems a little silly to me. If the Furious 5 do still have a pretty prominent role, it really doesn't make much sense to exclude them, so I don't think they're going to be very, very integral to this story. But, you know, I'm still excited. I think it'll be good. Hopefully it caps off the story pretty well. And then maybe, well, I didn't see How to Train Your Dragon 3, but then maybe we'll get a How to Train Your Dragon 4 in a few years. Who knows?
They're making the live action How to Train Your Dragon.
That's right. That's what they're doing, which will be sick. Anyway, Kung Fu Panda 4. Very hyped. Very excited about that.
Here's my opinion on Kung Fu Panda 4. Yikes.
Okay.
That trailer was bad.
It wasn't great. Yeah, I'll give that to you.
Bad.
Might be a cash grab.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna consume it and enjoy it.
All right. My number 1 movie.
Dune 2.
Dune 2,
Yeah.
baby. Dune 2. Dude. I am the Mujadib. Like, I cannot wait. Spice is flowing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be great. I cannot tell. This might be, no joke, up there with Endgame of my excitement for a movie.
Well, you said Dune to you is Lord of the Rings to me.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like,
so that makes sense.
I think Dune, it might be my favorite movie of the last, like, 3 or 4 years. Like, I love Dune. Apparently it's supposed to be bigger and better in every single way.
Well, that's what they say about it. Yeah, okay.
I just, but like, I believe them for some reason. Like, this just looks incredible. And I think that they figured it out. Like, oh, man. I hope. So, Austin Butler's in this. As Fade Rafa.
Oh, yeah, I've seen clips. I was thinking to myself, is that Austin Butler?
You haven't really heard him talk in any of the clips. My God, if he sounds like Elvis, that'd be so funny. It would be so funny.
Does he still talk like Elvis?
Atreides, come here.
Does
Like,
he still
that
talk
would-
like Elvis?
Yes, he's still got the Elvis in him. So, no, but I'm so excited for this. And if this does well, we'll get Dune Messiah. Just, this is an endgame level of excitement for me. I cannot wait for Dune Part 2. And it's not even close. Like, if you were to, like, weigh my answers for these top 5, this would be like 99% compared to the 1% they get split between the rest of them. This is going to be... I think I'm going to drive an hour to Indy somehow to go watch this in IMAX. Like, I'm that excited for this.
Wow. I think I'm going to see Kung Fu Panda 4 in IMAX. Not really the same, but
No, but the sentiment's still there.
yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait for Dune. Cannot wait for Dune.
I'm excited for you, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm excited for you for Kung Fu Panda.
Thank you.
I can't wait to do an episode on it and just hopefully not destroy it. Because the last DreamWorks big movie was great.
What was it?
Puss in Boots.
I didn't see it.
The Last Wish. What?
They need to start creating new characters.
I was more of a Shrek guy when I was a kid.
More of a what?
Shrek.
They need to make more characters. They keep a character, then they make 4 movies about it.
Just make Shrek 5.
As I said, they make a character and then make 4 movies out of it. Come up with a new character. They made
They
so many
did.
Puss in Boots.
Then you didn't go see it.
They made Puss in Boots.
No,
That's
they made Rudy Gelman Teenage Kraken. And you know who didn't go? Anybody. Nobody went and saw it.
Then
You know
make
what they did,
other
you know what they did go see?
new characters.
Puss in Boots. So,
Okay.
any honorable mentions? Because I have quite a few.
I do. My honorable mentions are kind of lame, though. I guess I have to put Deadpool 3 there.
Yeah.
One of mine, Garfield, it's probably gonna be horrible. But
I'll go see it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna see it,
I'll see
and
it.
I'm gonna laugh probably a couple times, and I'm excited for that. Ballerina.
Mm-hmm.
That's an honorable mention.
You big John Wick guy.
Well,
Never
here's the
seen-
thing.
Never seen any of the movies.
Okay. But you described him so well. I feel like I have seen him.
You got to watch those.
Yeah, Ballerina. I guess it's pretty much the next John Wick, but instead of John Wick, it's a ballerina.
And it's
played
Ana de
by
Armas?
played by Ana de Armas.
Or-
And Keanu Reeves is making an appearance. So
yeah, he is.
yeah, honorable mentions right there.
My honorable mentions are Maxine, which is the final movie in the X trilogy.
How are they still making more?
What do you mean? You saw X and Pearl?
What?
What?
What? Well,
What do you think I'm talking about? What X? What X do you think I'm talking
I'm
about?
thinking of Fast X.
Also, they are making one more. All right.
Oh my god.
Fast X was a part 1. All right. And I will be there day 1 of part 2. Gladiator 2 with Paul Mescal. Very exciting.
Nice.
One of my movies that was on my list, it was number 3 on my list, had to get removed because they delayed it, and that was Mickey 17. Robert Pattinson and Bong Joon-ho. Bummer. Hope that comes out soon. The Challengers, which is Zendaya in that threesome movie. Godzilla Kong.
I saw that one. Yeah.
The Fall Guy. We both like that trailer. The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. That looks pretty great. Twisters, which is a sequel to Twister.
Yeah.
And then I got 3 other ones. No. Okay, really fast. Venom 3. Wicked Part 1, which, musical.
Mm-hmm.
The Apex movie, which is a Formula 1 movie with Brad Pitt, directed by the guy who brought us Top Gun Maverick. And then here are my other ones that I think are exciting. Alien Romulus, which is a new Alien movie. Craven the Hunter, baby.
Yeah,
We're finally Craven. I'm craving some Craven.
Oh, jeez.
Transformers 1, which is an animated movie completely on Cybertron. So it's going to be just them there, which I think is cool. And Chris Hemsworth, for some reason, is Optimus Prime. But then here we go. This one was hard to keep off my list. Beetlejuice 2, which kind of sounds awesome.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Jenna Ortega's in it as the daughter of Winona Ryder's character. But yeah. Also, I think we should make a take. I think we should each pick one movie we think is going to suck. That doesn't look like it's going to suck now. Because I have 2 on my list that I think are going to suck.
Ooh. Let me pull up that list again.
Here, I'll give you one right now. I think If is going to suck. That
Yes.
is the John Krasinski
I'm with you.
movie about imaginary friends. I think that's going to be real bad.
I'm with you. Let's see.
I'm trying to also look here. Is that really coming? Is the Mufasa movie coming out this year?
Yes, it is.
Yikes. Okay, that might be on my list also of what's going to suck.
What are your thoughts of Lisa Frankenstein?
Okay. That trailer, one of the worst trailers I've ever seen, until like the last 30 seconds, where I was like, oh, this might not be bad, but also probably it's pretty bad.
So, one, I'm probably not going to see it because I know it's going to suck. Oh, wait, you said that it looks good.
Yeah, we have a film podcast. Probably should see a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the vampire movie?
we can skip that.
Yeah, that's
That
about
one we
what I
can
thought.
skip. We'll skip the ballerina.
That's about what I thought.
Is that also called The Ballerina?
I thought it was.
I thought it was too.
I hope not, for the good ballerina's sake.
Yeah, wait, is that also called The Ballerina in the same year? No way that they would do that. Is it? Is it? No, it's called Abigail.
Yes, okay.
Okay, it's called Abigail, which is crazy. Okay,
I'm going to go
here's
with,
my other one I think is going to suck. Madam Web.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say it.
Madam Web's going to be real bad, which is a bummer.
Oh.
But also we all kind of knew that.
I'm going to go with Lisa Frankenstein. I think that's going to be pretty bad.
All right, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird movies coming out.
I think Craven's going to be bad.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they did delay it a year for some reason. Dude, Sony has 3 Marvel movies coming out this year.
What are they trying to do?
Tank the industry. It's almost like if you have Spider-Man, make Spider-Man movies. Don't make his villains into movies that then you can't make them villains in the movie, like in Tom Holland's movies.
Why are they trying to tank it?
I don't know. I don't, like... I get you wanted to make Venom 3. The first 2 Venoms did well. Make Venom 3. No one asked for Kraven the Hunter. No one asked for Madam Web. Will we go see it?
Yeah.
Yes. But, like, that's just because we're movie people. Like, the average person is not going to go do that. And it's like...
Why don't they just sell the rights to Spider-Man? Make everyone happy. Sony makes a bag.
See, I used to believe that, but then we watched recent Marvel movies, and it's like, what are we doing here? So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think that's going to be real rough. But yeah, no, that is our list. So to kind of recap real fast, I have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes at 5, Megalopolis at 4, Deadpool 3 at 3, Joker 2 at 2, and Dune Part 2 at number 1. What did you have, Charles?
I had Civil War
Mm-hmm.
at 5.
Okay.
I had Ghostbusters at 4. I had Argyle at 3.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim at 2. And Kung Fu Panda at 1. And I have
think
Deadpool 3 at
yeah.
my 2.5.
Okay. Which we will not allow, but
Which
it's
I
okay.
guess we're not allowing.
But yeah, I think great episode.
Yeah.
Oh, breaking news. Breaking news. The Michael Jackson biopic will release in theaters April 18th, 2025. I wonder if that'll cover some specific things about his life.
I wonder.
It'd actually be awesome if it just ended like with him doing like the bad music video. And it was just like, and nothing else happened.
Yep. All good things.
Yeah. And he went to live a very normal life.
Normal, considerate.
Non-controversial life.
Yeah.
Did you know his nephew's playing him in the movie?
What?
Yes, his nephew, like, something Jackson is playing him.
Huh. That's interesting.
I hope that this... I hope this actually rocks. I hope this is up there with, like, some of the better biopics.
Yeah.
Because I think Michael Jackson's story,
Well,
if told really well, is very interesting.
I can't imagine a nephew would be willing to play Michael Jackson in the parts where the bad stuff did happen.
Also, like, Michael Jackson, for all the things, is probably one of the most talented individuals to ever live.
Yeah.
Gotta be tough to play him.
Yeah.
Gotta be like... I mean, Austin Butler gave up years of his life.
Yeah, and then didn't Jacob Elordi do it better?
Yeah, tough looks for Austin Butler. Also, Jacob Elordi is like the busiest actor of all time. He's in like everything.
Yeah, right?
Which, good for him. But like, I don't know. Also, if you were that one girl on Euphoria, like Maddie, you gotta be so annoyed because like Zendaya's in everything, Jacob Elordi's in everything. Sydney Sweeney's and everything, and then it's just like, what about me?
The
Tough
fact
folks.
that we don't know her name is
Yeah, we're part of the problem.
yeah. We'll work on that.
We'll work on that.
We'll make that a podcast stance as well.
To learn her name.
To learn her
and get
name
her
and
Oscar
promote
as
her.
well.
Yeah.
So we have 3 Oscars. we need
3
to get.
Oscars. Okay.
They can all
Tom
in the same-
Cruise. Well, Josh Hutcherson is 1-1.
Yes,
Like
Josh
that
Hutcherson
should be the
won.
priority.
No, yeah, we're
Then
working
Tom
that
Cruise
first.
if we can, and then
Josh, come on the pod, by the way. We'll talk.
yeah,
We'll get you that movie.
yeah.
Yeah. Josh Hutcherson, Tom Cruise, other girl on Euphoria. I'm so sorry.
We'll look her up. We'll
Yeah,
her
look
up
up her
right now.
name. We need to say her name. But yeah, I don't know how you can make that.
Alexa Demi.
All right, Alexa Demi, get ready. We're getting you an Oscar. The movie boys are working on it. But yeah, that's about it. That's all we really got. Anything else? No. Well, and if your teams are in the playoffs, have a wonderful playoff weekend. I wish you all the best of luck. And if not, draft season's right around the corner.
Booyah.
Yeah, you are back. Who's back of the week? Draft picks.
We are, hopefully.
Yeah. No, I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoy the movies. A lot of good stuff out there right now. The Beekeeper, as we mentioned, great. Mean Girls, gonna do well. People don't know it's a musical. It's a musical.
Get the popcorn tin.
Yeah,
a
great
little book.
popcorn tin. It's the Burn book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the book. It's the
I
Burn.
actually said it's a book.
It's the Burn book. Okay.
Yeah.
God, this guy. But yeah, no. So for Charles, I'm Hunter. Have a great week in the movies.